Everybody, I am live. I am Leathur Rokk, and today, guess what we're going to do? We're going to devein some shrimp. And the reason why we're going to do that is because I realized I had them defrosted, and you can't cook them until you devein them. And the one thing that always holds me back from shrimp is you have to take the intestines out. That's what deveining is. Let me show you how you do it. This is a shrimp. It's best to show you on a nice big shrimp. Now, I would get a smaller knife than this, but this is what I'm getting. You want to watch me grab it? Well, you know what? Never mind. I'll just grab it. And I could pivot to the sink, or I could even show you here. The outside, it looks like it's already done, but you have to go in the inside. And this is where you're looking. And you're going to take the knife and you're going to go, you can actually see through it. And just go through using your fingers to lift it up out of the way. I hope you can even see this. You cut through, cut along. And you can see it's a vein. Okay, well, when I lift it out, I will show you. You can't miss it. It's a gray strip. You see this? This is intestines. You don't want to eat that. You got to do this for every shrimp. That's why if you're going to do this, you might as well spring for the bigger shrimp. You won't get as many per pound, but you won't have as many of these to do. Now, each time I do this, I go to the sink, and I want you to see something. I scrubbed this sink clean before doing this video. When I knew I was going to do this live video today, I said, you know what? I can't have all the dishes in the sink. I can't have all the debris. So, but every single one of those shrimp. And now you can tell by looking at them, you don't have that gray stuff. And I already have a plate. And I guess I could set them here. And these are the remainder of this bag of shrimp. Oh, and this is where the shrimp came from. Well, it says product of U.S.A. Got the shrimp. I see the dugout part, so you know that's not the part we're looking at. We're looking at the inside part. And yes, you do this to parcel shrimp too. You want to make sure that you found any gray threads. Yes, I found it. It's a real thin thing. You see that? And I just like to... My water pressure is real high because I accidentally got the washer out, and so it goes out very fiery high force. So I have to watch how much pressure I turn the water on. Each piece that's clean is put here, and I like to, because these juices can be used in a fish stock later, so I like to save the liquid. Oh, I see a strip right here. Good. But I don't think that was the whole thing, so it's really, you see, it's good. Don't be fooled just because you get a little of it, because look at all that. And that's why you take the knife. You go along here. And if you get it just right, thread comes right out. You don't want to eat the intestines of the shrimp. Oh, okay, I see some more of it. And wow, look at all that. And I like to stick it under the faucet and clean it out. Nice clean shrimp. These are the shrimp that I use to make the scampi. Iva? Hi. Iva Watuni? Am I saying that right? I am deveining some shrimp. And I'm showing you that you're looking for the gray strip. And you go like this and you take it out. See? You see that? Let it go down the drain. Always like to double check that there's no gray stripe. Got to do this with each one before you can cook them. And these you could see. Knife. Oh yeah, it's right here. Lifts out so easily. Oh. See? I only thaw it out a little bit at a time with this shrimp. It was a 2-pound bag. And I had to hit it up against a hard surface to get just a little bit out at a time. Because I knew I had to deal with this. Sure. And there's other parts of the shrimp that look like they're vein and they might not be, but when in doubt, if it looks like it might be, best to cut it out. It's a nice size, isn't it? I mean, this is my finger. This is a shrimp. Okay. Oh, okay. This is not as easy to see. Lift it right out. Oh, yeah. See, that's the vein. You ever go to a restaurant? It's usually the small shrimp, and you see that there's still has these pieces in them. And I'm thinking, I take it out. If I see that it's there, I do it. And a lot of times you have to ask for a knife because at a Chinese restaurant, if all you're using is chopsticks, they probably don't figure there's any need for there to be a knife at the table. But if you have to devein one of those little shrimp, you know, you have to. Uh, or how's about the dehydrated shrimps that you get in a cup of ramen? You know. Oh, this one you could see the veins sticking out right there. See, this one's easy to see. Oh, I'm doing these cooking live streams in part because a friend of mine came by to try to take a look at what was going on with this cell phone. I was getting an error message saying that I used up all my space for filming and that I had to start deleting things. And I was supposed to check the settings in the cell phone. And the cell phone settings said that I used up 35 gigabytes in my camera settings. And this capacity is 256 gigabytes in this phone. And even with the systems it's running on, that only uses up another 5 gigabytes. And apps only is another 5. Because I didn't really add things to it because I wanted to focus on using this for my YouTube channel. So anyway, my friend deduced that this model of phone, whatever the model of phone is, supposedly is designed to shut off the camera after 10 minutes so the battery doesn't overheat. Now, I shot at least 4 videos that were a little bit over 10 minutes. You know, a video is whatever length it needs to be. Always want to rinse off the tip of the knife. You never want to do any contamination because if you break the surface of the veins, you know, those are intestines, and that's basically breaking the contents of said intestine into your food, and nobody wants that. Even though we are cooking it, so. Deveining the shrimp. You know, if it wasn't for the fact that this has to be done, I would love to cook shrimp a lot more. I'm not even talking about the cost of seafood. You know, sometimes you get lucky and it falls into your lap, you know. With fish, sometimes somebody shows up and you catch a bunch of fish. And if you know how to clean a trout, I do. You know. Hey. Oh, look at that. If I ever get a trout, I'll clean it on camera. I can show you how to do it. And there's lots of ways to do it because not everybody has the best kind of knives for it. And to have a knife that can actually descale a fish. Alright, now this liquid here was from the frozen shrimp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this back in the freezer, and this I can throw into a fish soup. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm going to do with all this. First of all, I'm going to wash up again with antibacterial soap over my freshly clean kitchen. Oh, what's that says? Random edits. Hello. I just showed people how you devein a shrimp. You gotta devein a shrimp before you decide to eat it. I think I'm gonna get another. I'm gonna get a little portable hard drive, and I'm going to start backing up this channel again. And if I keep on having problems actually just trying to film videos, I'm going to think of getting some of those extenders that you stick to the bottom of the cell phone, and it's like it adds a bunch of extra, it expands it, it adds a bunch of extra gigabytes of storage so that you can't maybe get these error messages saying that you can't shoot any more videos. Okay, I'm going to take these, I don't know here, I don't want to turn this off. You can see what I'm doing on the plate. I'm going to start taking these shrimp, okay, and I'm going to cut each one into what I consider small mouthful pieces. You know, you can, if you want to use something later, you can cook it and you can freeze it even if it's already been frozen and thawed in order to use. I mean, you can never take undeveined shrimp straight from the freezer to cooking because you still need to do the deveining. And as long as it passes the smell test each time, then you know it's not bad. Once it's bad, freezing it and then thawing it won't save it, you know. Oh, isn't that good? I'll show you what this looks like. Now we're going to switch this over to the stove. And this cast iron skillet. You know what? I'm going to go back to the wok. I keep on going back to this wok. We've had this wok since I was a little girl. And it has sentimental value for our family. Oh, if some people want to, you tune in late, you missed the turnaround. I wanted you to see what I was wearing. I really tried to get a close color match. This is more of a maize. And there, I even have these colors in the socks. I'm trying to do the turnaround. I saw this. I was looking for colors so that I can put them together when I'm still doing the packing process, and I'm trying to find a bunch of things that are yellow, and I saw this and I'm thinking, oh, okay. And I don't know if you can tell, but the rim of the skirt is yellow. So, but we're going to put a little bit more oil in this, and this is oil that I am reusing. It's safe to do that. Some people strain it first. Thank you, Meyer. If I had a cat, I'd hold him up and show him, but you know, we don't have cat anymore. I am going to, this is the shrimp that I just deveined. Oh, and I am going to put some fire on. Now, I'm just grabbing an onion. I want to lower the flame kind of. I'm grabbing an onion. And I don't know, you know what? Just for now, I'm going to turn the fire off. I'm going to check on this onion. What I'm thinking of, before I do something with the shrimp, I think I'm going to do something with onion. You know? Mmm. You see what I'm doing? I'm breaking it into chunks like this. Once they're in, you can, you know, fan them out, or you can actually fan them out using your preferably wooden spoon. I love wooden spoons. At least they don't scratch against the surface. Now, I'm also doing that carefully because the very middle of this is rotten. And you don't need to throw out the whole onion just because part of it's bad. See, if I had used a cutting board and chopped the onion that way, the way you're supposed to, I would have gotten the rotten part, you know, onto the good food, and nobody wants that. See, I can do all, but where you even think it's going to be bad, and this gets tossed to trash. Okay, now I'm going to hit the fire on the onion first. My hands are wet. I have two choices I could use. They're both heat proof. You know what? I'm going to turn the fire down a little bit. wish you could smell this. Well, see, there's a reason why long sleeves are really a good idea when you're frying. I've got no protection. That's whatever this wants to do. And don't let that sit in your oil. Turn it down a little low. I don't like to put it down too low. They say when you have the fire on too low when you're frying, it makes the food soggy and absorb more grease. But I'm not adding any kind of coating. You know. This is garlic powder. It's gotten hard. You know, it gets in these big chunks. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the oil. I'm going to use friction to crumble it. Oh. Just move. Do you not want the onion? Well, the good thing about woks, when things get to cook too much, just move it to the top. Quickly, as quickly as possible, add this garlic into it. Another reason why I want to do it quickly is because it would be easier to make it dissolve in water. This is oil. Okay, now this is where the magic happens. I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it into the oil. Hear that? Oh. Actually, you know that liquid that I just stuck in to freeze? I can actually put that back in this oil. And you know what I can do? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? This is shrimp. I just showed people how to devein a shrimp. And now that I've got shrimp frying, I think I'm going to put some water in this. But you know what? Always keep this moving. And you don't want to cook shrimp too much, you make them tough. Okay, got this much water. Now, I'm going to take this cast iron skillet, I'm going to put it on the back burner. And I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put the fire on this. I'm going to throw some parsley flakes. You know what I wish I had my hands on? Fresh basil leaves, like from a garden. You know, I'd be growing things in that garden, but people were letting the dogs go in there and stuff. And I haven't seen people, I don't know how well they clean up after them, but how quickly they do, just the fact that they're going there, kind of, you know. The basil is just so wonderful with garlic and oil. If you can get real olive oil, that's really wonderful. You can use coconut oil also. Throw in a little bit of salt. You know what? Even if I don't think it's quite done all the way, I'm going to tear the fire off. That will retain heat for a while. I've got the water started. This is where the pasta is going to be. And I'm going to go into my room and I'm going to get the pasta. This is the spaghetti. This one here. Oh, I thought one of those was actually angel hair, but this is the one that doesn't have much in it. And since my mom already ate, I'm not going to make a lot. But, you know what? Yeah, this looks like angel hair right here. See this? Whereas this other one, okay, now they both say spaghetti, but this looks more like angel hair, and this looks thicker. I don't know, now maybe they're the same, but this seems a little thinner. Either way, I break mine up really small before I throw it in the boiling water. Matter of fact, I'm going to break it up now. I once had a roommate who was Sicilian Italian, who thought it was a mortal sin to break up pasta before putting it in the pot, and I made this person very angry because I broke up the spaghetti so that it would fit, so that as soon as you had your rolling boil, you could submerge everything. You know, you want the pasta to cook evenly. And this person just went ape shit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over. I'm going to take advantage of this clean skillet, and I'm going to carefully break the pasta over this. So, and I break my pasta in threes to fit the bowl, to fit the thing I'm boiling it in. Now, oh, I found a little bit of basil. Smells good, but I'm telling you, nothing quite beats fresh basil. I'm all for dried spices. That's usually what we can get, you know. I mean, even when you grow fresh herbs, you still let them dry. You dry some, you freeze some. You know, basil can be frozen when it's fresh. It becomes kind of slimy and yucky looking, but if you're going to use it for spaghetti sauce, that's the best way to go, I think. I like to throw in some red pepper flakes in pasta water. I always, when I'm draining the pasta, I always save some of that starch water. And you know what? I may end up having to add some more oil to this because you want to have an oil and water mixture, kind of like when you make a good clam sauce. I love to make good clam sauce. Oh, there is some real hectic something going on outside here. All right, I realize I've got the rolling boil that you need for pasta. You know. Oops. smells good, you guys. I have a secret to making sure that my pasta stays al dente and it doesn't overcook. The first thing is to never get distracted and ignore it. You can tell by the way the pressure of your spoon or whatever you're using stir it. When you're stirring pasta, it has a certain give to it. After a while, that's when you want to start to taste test it. Now, I actually really crowded the pan this time. The pot, this is a 2.5 quart pot, I believe, and I'm not sure exactly how much spaghetti I put in it. But this is definitely, I don't need to put it in my mouth to know that this is hard. So, when you overcrowd the pasta pot, your times are actually going to be longer than what it says on the box. They're expecting that you are allowing a lot of water for the pasta to expand and move around when the water boils. It's not able to move as much because you don't have as much room for it. So, therefore, it is going to take longer. But one of the things I like to do is before it gets to the al dente, because I want to make sure that my pasta does not overcook. So before it gets to the al dente, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the water off, the fire off. Because if you turn the fire off, first of all, the water is already still hot. Your heating element, even when you turn the fire off, it's still going to be hot for a while. Everything is still going to retain heat. But this is going to dramatically slow your cooking time. You can run to do something real quick and you can come back. Keep on taste testing your pasta. Just before it gets to the al dente stage, that's when you want to drain it. And definitely have a jar underneath where you dump the draining water. Because you want to save some of that starchy water. Most of the time, that's part of your pasta sauce. And it allows your sauce to stick to your pasta better if you incorporate the starch. But by taking it out, taking it off the fire well before it's done, that's a way to make sure you never have overcooked pasta again. By doing that, and by the way, not only just taking it off the fire, taking it to a cold burner. And never cover it. Because you cover it with a lid, that'll slow its cooling off. And if the whole idea is to not have overcooked pasta, you want to encourage it to cool off rapidly. See, I can tell by looking at it, it's still too hard. Still too hard. Too hard, too hard, too hard. Even pasta water smells good. Well, now I know this is totally gone. do this for some medicinal benefit. This is turmeric. Turmeric, a little goes a long way. See that nice yellow color? And even though I threw in some red pepper flakes, I'm going to go ahead and throw in some black pepper. I'll tell you why. Black pepper and turmeric are synergistic. They both have health benefits, and they're better together. Still quite hard. I'm going to throw in a little bit more of this. You know, the dollar store nearest me, which is about maybe 3-4 miles away, they still have quite a good selection of kitchen spices. So I'm definitely going to get a bunch for my friends in Washington, D.C. that I stay with when I go there. Because I love to cook for people when I stay with them. And they don't have enough of the spices that I use for certain things I make. And they do have a really good store that's literally down the alley from where they live, but the prices were so high. And when I'm thinking I could have picked in my garden literally these things, they wanted like 4 basic containers of spices. They wanted between $4 and $7 for them. It was really a high-end place. And I kept on thinking about how I could get those things for so much more affordable prices, you know. So I'm just going to get a bunch of things. You know, I remember what was in his kitchen. And there's a few things. Basil was definitely something that was needed. You know. This is finally starting to cook. What? I'm going to do something that you're never supposed to do when you're cooking pasta, but I'm doing it because the water level was going so low, and this is really pretty hard. Okay. You're really not supposed to do this. As you see, I'm using the basket from the coffee maker. Now I'm going to maybe add a little bit more. Yeah. And I don't want it to boil over, but I do want there to be enough liquid for this pasta to cook. And I don't want to keep you guys up all day waiting for this. Now while we're doing this, I'm going to look for the strainer because we got to be able to strain the pasta. And you know what? Any of those strainers can be used, including the ones that I use for the coffee. So hold that thought. Look what I found. See? We had a plastic strainer here somewhere, which I'm sure we do. We have the smaller one here, but you need something kind of like a bowl. Tennis racket? You know, I was just speaking of tennis. I was just thinking about the other day about how if I was going to learn one of those kind of sports, I would prefer to learn tennis, and I think it sounds like it would be a lot of fun. You know, just because maybe I would much rather say, oh, I play tennis than I play pickleball. But anyway, yeah, either of these will work. No, I would rather normally do a cooking video just as a standalone video, but when I realized that this phone was giving me problems with making videos now, I might just get another cheap phone by a different manufacturer and figure if each of these cheap little phones gives me a week. And then, you know, I can always go into my room, do home office or home set content, but I just can't move it, you know. I really love the idea of having something that you can hold in your hand that you can actually is portable and you can film wherever. Oh, I can't say enough about these things. They are just the best. Oh, yeah. No, don't do that. Thank you. I just washed up the bottom of a rice cooker, and because you gotta have something to get some of that pasta water back. Plus, when you're draining, you don't want to dump the pasta all in the sink. Okay, now I want to see how close to al dente it is. You know what? I can take this. See, it's on back burner. It's cold. It only belongs to the mice. You know? I can let it sit there for like a minute or 2 or 5. Definitely no more than that. I'm going to put this over safely in the sink. Now I'm going to bring this to the sink. this is when seconds kind of count, because I don't want overcooked pasta. That's just not a good thing. And see, this has a lot of room. A lot of strainers don't have enough room. And you end up spilling pasta. And nobody wants to waste food. Yes. I'm going to take a few pieces of pasta that are stuck to here. Waste not, want not. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do. So we're about to make shrimp scampi. See this pasta water? I could smell the bitterness of the turmeric. Let me stir this. Let me add some of this. Okay, let me start off with a little first. Oh, and you know what? That was kind of hot. Now I'm gonna think, should I add a little bit more oil to this? Yes, I think I am. If I had real olive oil, I would use that. Just adding a little bit. Now I'm going to trying to think what else herb-wise could I add to this. You know what? I'm probably going to end up adding a little bit of this garlic pepper seasoning to this, because I think I used up the garlic salt. I just now used up the ground garlic. I'm saving the fresh garlic for spaghetti and clams. And I already have done videos about that, because that's a big recipe in our family history. Throw in some more red pepper flakes, not too much. Throw in some more of this water, just so that I have more sauce, you know. I'm sure I'm going to have to add salt to this. And remember before, when I first fried the shrimp, I said I might not fry them all the way. That's because I knew I was going to do a finish off fry. In case this is too watered down, this will take care of that problem. Yeah, you know what else I'm going to add to this? This is frozen shrimp. I guess you could call it shrimp water. Ah, yeah. This is why I like to save shrimp shells. When I go out to eat or something, people usually throw out their shrimp shells, save them. When you get home, put them in the freezer, put them in a Ziploc bag. And you want to make a fish stock. Boil them for a couple hours. Mmm. Oh, clean hands. Oh man, it smells good in here. I'm gonna turn the fire off. Oh, I wish you could smell how good it smelled in here. Mmm. This is amazing. I really do hope that we get the technology so that you guys can smell our cooking. And I've been doing this for a little over an hour, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 58, 59, 1 hour, 4 minutes. Woo. This is a bowl I've often used for spaghetti because it has this thing that you can keep the sauce from dumping on yourself. Oh, hot. You know what? I don't like burning myself. Hot. 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 Now, some people like to plunge their pasta into an ice bath to stop it from cooking. If you're going to make a pasta salad, yes, do that. But if you're eating it right away, hot, just leave it alone. But definitely don't cover it because that'll just make it keep on cooking. And if you don't want overcooked pasta, yes, we need smell-o-vision. Exactly. I love Gene Wilder in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And even though I will give respect to other people that got his role, and I haven't seen Timothée Chalamet's version, I think Timothée Chalamet is a wonderful actor. I saw him in Call Me By Your Name, and that was a real tug on my heartstring kind of thing. And I saw him in GQ, but now we get to see what this is going to be like. See, I would like to, after this has already been shot, I would actually like to edit a thumbnail just from a still from the video. And TubeBuddy lets you do that. But it's a lot harder to do on a cell phone. And I've been importing stuff from the cell phone into my computer. But the only thing is, if it's a video shot in this format, then when you're in using your laptop, then it says things like you have to use the mobile app. And it's like, if I wanted to use a mobile app, I would be on a mobile phone. You know. This is what this looks like. Shrimp scampi. Usually when people make shrimp scampi, they have the big whole shrimps. And the presentation looks great, but you don't end up having a whole lot of shrimps. Now, let me see how much salt it's going to need. Definitely need salt. And I'm thinking, okay, I can do the salt route, or I can add garlic pepper. This would give the benefit of punching up the garlic. Garlic pepper seasoning has salt, garlic, black pepper, and sugar. I'm going to go light on this first because I don't want to give myself a salt attack, even though I do enjoy salt. But I'm trying to wean myself away from too much salt and too much sugar. But the thing is, you see how much honey I put in my coffee. So, got more. I'm not going to bore you with watching me eat this, but I want you to know that this is how you devein a shrimp, and this is one of many ways you can make shrimp scampi using the ingredients you have on hand. Okay, I'm going to eat. Go try this yourself. Talk to you tomorrow or something.